Good. Have a good day. You're dismissed. Goodbye. Hey, good. Still morning. It's before 12 o'clock, so it's almost the afternoon. But happy Monday, everybody. I got a video that I want people to see. It's an older one, but people didn't make such a big deal about it. And it didn't get the attention that it deserved, in my opinion. And there's a lot of these out here. I know that greater than anybody that, even with hard work and motivated, you can motivate yourself to the extreme of brainwashing yourself to believe that you're going to get this done or you're going to do what needs to be done, right? It just don't happen that way. And it's timing's everything. I guess it's the essence. And I just believe that, you got like these mainstream media talk about Crime Watch, right? And then you have, in this specific case, gets aired by several different huge media outlets. And the guy gets, even the Louisiana State Trooper actually gets charged. And of course, because of that systemic narcissistic oppression that goes on, as we all know, as bootlickers, he got away with that crime. When it clearly shows that, I don't care what you believe, you need to understand something. I keep breaking this down in almost every 4 or 5 videos that I make. Lawful and legal. Understand these things. Do you actually believe a legal, which is corporate law, which is civil infractions that give the actual law enforcers an excuse to abuse their authority and pull you over because it's legal? It's not lawful. Don't get me wrong. If you've learned anything off of me, legal and lawful, get them right, because one day I'm going to stop explaining it and I'm going to move on. People ain't going to know. My point is, just because it's legal doesn't mean it's lawful. And this guy gets, you guys tell me tell me if I'm wrong, okay? Tell me what you think, especially in the comments. Do you honestly think that a traffic stop for a civil infraction should turn out with multiple contusions and broken bones? Yeah, there's an uneasy silence there. Yeah, I said it right. Multiple contusions and broken bones. When you got broken ribs, you get your head fracture, you get hit in the head with one of these steel flashlights. This thing weighs 15 pounds. I will crack your head open with this if I hit you in the right spot. As I'm going to show you what these Louisiana State Troopers were using over a traffic stop because of a civil infraction that's questionable to begin with, because it looks like he's in his driveway. First, let's just go ahead and play this. I'm gonna play this first. Excuse me, I get a little passionate about these things. It kind of messes with me. And I can't stand people that enable this behavior. We are better than this as a nation. We are better than this. Why do we continue to keep letting this happen? those individuals that are supposed to be the good guys, where is your conscience? Oh, you have to be there to understand. He wasn't compliant. Wait a minute, hold up. Compliance. You need to bring yourself back to the human aspect of this. Remember, it's just a civil infraction. It is a fine, for crying out loud. Send it to him in the mail. Boom. Do like the Fourth Amendment says. If you don't have a warrant, subpoena his ass. Get the judge to sign it to compel him to come to court. You don't need to beat him. You don't need to freaking crack his head. You don't need to crack his ribs. You don't need to possibly drown him because there's a puddle this big next to his face where they had his face stuck in the concrete. Just gets old. Here we go.
Louisiana Attorney General's office dismissed all charges against Aaron Bowman on Monday. Back in 2019, he was charged with improper lane usage, resisting an officer by flight, resisting an officer by force or violence, and simple battery of a police officer. The body cam footage released in August of last year shows him being beaten with a flashlight by former state trooper Jacob Brown. Bowman's attorney says the charges should have been dropped a year ago.
I felt that after Jacob Brown had been indicted, and this would exonerate our client, Aaron Bowman, just because the footage was already out at that time and it was released that showed him being beaten. And so I could not for the life of me understand why Aaron still had these charges. So today we're just glad that he's finally exonerated. And, we want, him to feel better and and let the community know that, Aaron did nothing wrong.
Former Trooper Brown is accused of falsifying the arrest documents. He is charged with aggravated second-degree battery and malfeasance in office.
Okay.
Pick up.
So what we're looking at there is them doing the right thing and dropping all charges, right? But what we're missing is justice. So, yeah, so what? He was charged. Yeah, big whippy. Louisiana has been known to drop charges and cover up. Remember the Green? You guys remember the Green incident? Here, let me put a recap on that, where they actually just because they got some indictments really didn't mean you even heard the young lady that said so, where's that at? I believe it's not coming back up. I don't know. It's not my history. I don't know why, but it is what it is. I have what I need of though. Here's the actual body footage of this. So let me just read this off real quick before I do. This is extremely violent. Viewer discretion is advised. Please understand that. If you don't like gory stuff and violence, please do not watch this. Turn your head while you're listening. Now let's just read this. The beating left Aaron with a broken jaw, 3 broken ribs, a broken wrist, a gash to his head that requires 6 staples to be closed. So let me ask you again, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Was that actually worth? Was it actually worth that rises to the occasion of that type of force for an illegal lane change? Yeah. What you're thinking, that's your conscience talking to you. If that didn't bother you, here's some really good advice. You're missing a moral. In my opinion, the only way that you can go get that moral is to run to a church altar near you and ask God to forgive you for all your sins so he can give you your conscience back. So you won't be in a reprobate mind. That's just my opinion. If that don't bother you. If this doesn't bother you, that would be my way of finding my moral high ground. Is to go in the spirit world and figure out what the heck I'm doing wrong, or what am I doing that's so evil that is desensitizing me to this abuse of authority, abuse, human rights abuse. I'm sure you guys can add 50 more abuses in this. I'm sure you can. Before I go on, I just want to welcome my audience, my loyal audience. Thank you for coming. Hawk Fan 88, it's always good to see you. Gorf, what's up, brother? Jake, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Low Dimes, what's happening? Everybody saying your pleasant day. Renata, how you doing? Charlie Owens, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Utah Cop Watch, love you, brother. Thank you for being here. Yeah, obey authority. Exactly. I'll get to that in a minute. Bull Corruption says police are straight up 1942 Nazi soldiers. But yeah, and that's what it says in the description. If you go read the description, I did bring up the systemic issue that of old policing days. And this is just not flying with me, man. You're on the wrong side of history if you think this is okay. Here we go. There's your warning. All right, guys.
Archer Winsboro. Hold on. Hang tight. I haven't done nothing. Give us your hand.
Notice, before I go on, every time he swings and hits, you'll hear the microphone make that weird noise. You don't actually hear the him hitting flash, right? You're not hearing it. You're hearing the microphone squash out the noises that he's actually hearing. So every time you hear the from the mic is a blow to Bauman's body. So let me get back to right before he started hitting him.
Hold on. Hang tight.
2,
I haven't done nothing. Give us your hand.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
I'm bleeding. Hit him in the hand with a flashlight. I haven't done nothing, man. I'm on dialysis, man. You hurt me.
I didn't even hear that part. The guy is dying. Basically, anybody that's on dialysis, they're dying. People that are on dialysis typically, from what in my experience, what I've seen, live about 5 to 8 years, the most 5. Excuse me, the most 8, and the majority is 5. And there's just no feeling here at all. There's no sense of human rights. It's like they probably treat their dogs better than us. So Trooper Jacob Brown faces state charges in the beating of 2 other involved black motorist. He did not respond to a request for comment. Of course not. All narcissistic abusers, they all look, to me, they're looking alike, man. They just got that gleam in their eye, like, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know why I'm here. I'm good. Shoot, why am I even being booked? I could just look in his eyes right now. Why am I even being booked? I mean, it's not like they're going to find me guilty anyway.
I kept thinking I was gonna die that night because all I can do was breathe. I'm scared.
Anytime that an officer utilizes an object to strike an individual in the head, they must have reason to use deadly force. Striking somebody in the head with a flashlight can cause serious, if not permanent, injury and or death to the individual.
You know, but when I seen that tape, it was like reliving it all over again. I ain't gonna lie, I couldn't help myself.
And look at this. We're in his driveway. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let me give you an opinion based upon experience. Y'all remember when Eyes on Corruption, MCC, freaking media, and I got arrested for something we didn't do back in 21. And it seemed we had undisputed evidence that we didn't do anything and that we did not commit any crimes. And yet we still got arrested. There was 21 LEOs there. 21 cops, guys. So it seems the more cops that are there, the more it legitimizes and undermines the actions of the officers and what they do. It's like, for some reason, they get this passive aggressive pass, you know? And, well, you know, he should have did what he was told.
Watching it all broke down all over again. You know, it's just, you know, I wouldn't want nobody to go through
that. Aaron Bowman faces charges of battery and resisting arrest, but denies hitting anybody. Of course, that's why they dropped the charges. I played when the news actually picked it up, when the prosecutor actually dropped charges and then charged the officer, right? Did you hear that? Did you guys hear that? Let me go back and listen to that again. I thought I heard like a guy just doing what he does in North. Just no big deal. Wussy dooey. Listen to that again. Hear that? As the cop goes by. One more time. One more time. And he's smiling. Was that him doing the whistling? I mean, look at that. Oh, he muted his shit. Okay. Hold up. And that's when that cop, so the cops looking at the one wearing the body cam, right? And then they start laughing. See that? Oh, that's funny, guys. And you're telling me, wait a minute. You're telling me there ain't no intent there? The the public at large in Louisiana. You're telling me that there's no intent there. That guy is crying in pain, a grown man crying in cuffs, bleeding from the back of his head, with 4 broken ribs, a broken wrist, multiple contusions and broken bones, and you're laughing because he didn't make a turn and use a procedure called an improper lane change. Ooh, he didn't use a blinker. My God, beat him to death. Who is he to do that? Aaron should have been hung right in his living room for that. We should have hung him right in that tree right behind him. Shame on him. Yeah, I'm being sarcastic, all right. Watch this one more time. I want to listen to this guy right here. Let's listen to his interview real quick of how that night felt for him. I couldn't imagine being this guy.
I kept thinking I was gonna die that night because all I can do was breathe. It was scary.
Anytime that an officer utilizes an object to strike an individual in the head, they must have reason to use deadly force. Striking somebody in the head with a flashlight can cause serious, if not permanent, injury and or death to the individual.
You know, but when I seen that tape, it was like reliving it all over again. You know, I don't lie, I couldn't help myself. Watching it, I broke down all over again. You know, it's just, you know, I won't want nobody to go through that.
You guys, that's just some like really narcissistic shit. I have to put narcissistic oppressor together because that's what they are. That's what Hitler was as a dictator. You know, you can't have those two attributes without being the definition of a dictator. And I just see that no matter what these people feel, I don't know what they're training in their training. I mean, that is why I'm trying to tell people, especially African American people, when I speak to them. Do you know that you're still a slave? Do you know that we're all slaves? Do you know that I'm going to show you how I'm a slave? And I'm admitting to it. They added $600 to my house. I got to pay $600 more on my taxes now. Why? Why? And if I don't pay it, and if I stay in my home, and if I continue to resist to pay that, they will come and take my home, and they will put the same violence on me as they did him. And even in a wheelchair, they don't give a crap. They don't care. They don't have to care. We've seen police officers beat paraplegics just for having a bad day. And people say they need more money for training. No, they don't. They got all kinds of training manuals up in their police department, stored and secured, old and new. They have tons of discs, tons of flash drives, tons of freaking modules. I don't want to hear it. They don't need no more training. What they need to do is obey the law. What they need to do is to have some pride and dignity in what they do. And if you're going to be a cop, man, God, you got to have some thick skin. Can't be no punk disrespecting the community when they pay you, because the silent majority, just because they're silent doesn't mean they agree with you. Maybe they're afraid of you. Do you like people being afraid of you as a police officer? If there's any police officers, and I know there is, that watches me, do you honestly want people to fear you? Do you want them to kiss your rear end to the white meat, to the red mount? Is that what makes you maybe a man? Because I thought hard work, having pride in what you do, is supposed to show in your actions with your policing and at home, and what you do in your home and your house. You make it look nice. You do all your work. You work hard. You put elbow grease into who you are. It reflects on who you are. There's just too many people perpetrating fraud out here. Again, I hope you're having a great Monday, and I'm going to go to some comments here. Let's start with, I'll go back and read some here. All right. Start with bold corruptions again. Police are straight up 1942 Nazi soldiers, the backing of the government. Yeah, I agree. Exactly. Psychopath with a badge. Exactly. Val's like, wow, didn't like that at all. Him and the rest of them were all a waste of air. Yeah, true that. What's up, Brent? How you doing, Brent? He should get life in prison for that, and put him in general population and see how he will, if he does that to a brother there. Yeah. Same old song and dance, right? Be all you can be, homie. You go change, start fall. You know what they usually do. You thought is they go into PC, protected custody, and they whine and cry all day long. You can't even go out and play basketball. Cowards. West Side, what's up? Yeah, he whistles. You heard it, Renetta. I know. It's crazy. All right, brother. You have a great day. I'm glad people actually, that's nice to know that people would stop and watch my video while at work. That's cool. Thank you. Michael, how you doing? Tell your wife I said hello. Let's see. Westside said, that's just horrible. Yes, everyone on the scene should be charged. Yeah, exactly. No crime, no blinker punishment, beating almost into the ground. Yeah. Sad. Paid assassins. That's right. What training? Exactly. All right. That'll be it for the fried chicken. What's up? Scrubzilla. Devos. What's up? What's up? What's up? Devos, Weeds, and Chronics. Gotcha. I read it right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to leave it at that. If you guys have any comments you want to put, I'll see you in the comment area. Until then, Wolverine's back quiet, ready to mail for show. Have a great Monday.